2. This is The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, live in Los Angeles, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, FS1, sponsored by DraftKings. Play free fantasy football for the big game for your shot at the $1 million top prize. Been a bad week for New Orleans. Bad couple of weeks. They're all freaking out about that whole Anthony Davis thing. Had him for 6 years. Trade him, get a bunch of picks and players, reboot. It's not like he came to the team and said, in the NFL, John Elway's like, I'm not playing for them. Eli Manning's like, Chargers, I'm not playing for them. You had Anthony Davis for 6 years. You won one playoff series. All right? I mean, how long do you want a guy? You're not going to get him forever. Cleveland had LeBron for 7. He's like, I want to go win. You can't get me any good players. He came back and said, here's a 1-year deal.
Cleveland handled that departure very well.
Yeah. I mean, these organizations like the Cavs and, New Orleans, you had the guy for 6 years. It's not like in the NFL where John Elway and Eli Manning are like, I'm not even going to play for this city.
Well, look, the organization reacting the way that they do in these situations is a bit over the top, but I don't blame fans for being upset. That's what fans are supposed to do. They're supposed to care.
Yeah. All right. My buddy, my guy, he's going to be a first ballot guy, Hall of Fame guy via the Coward Global Satellite Network. Russell Wilson, Super Bowl champ, been to a couple of these things. Great to see you, Russ. You're ready to go. I know you'd rather actually be in the game, but I want you to take my audience back to your first Super Bowl. A lot of media. You were becoming a star. 1 million requests. Did you find it, like the Rams this week, a little disruptive and out of your usual habits?
No, I think that you prepared for it. I actually prepared for it the year before. You go back to 2012, I think about my rookie year. I actually went to the Super Bowl to experience all that, to understand what it would be like, just in case I went the next year or whenever it would be. And so I prepared for that. I prepared for what the halftime would be like. I prepared for what the media could be like, potentially. And so that helped me going into 2013, being prepared for it. Hey, you know what? Embrace it. Don't fear it. And so, listen, you either love the big moments or you don't. And I think that you look forward to them. I definitely look forward to them, that's for sure.
It's interesting. I've heard players say this before, that as a quarterback, you can be excited, Russ, but you can't get too excited because it'll hurt your accuracy. You'll be too amped up. The first series of the game, do you remember it? Do you remember trying to kind of control your energy? Can you take us back there?
Yeah, I felt cold as ice. I felt ready to go. I felt like it was I was meant to be there. There's a saying that I always tell myself, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And that kind of just gets my mind right. Funny thing is about the coin toss. One of my favorite things about the Super Bowl, going back, and even watching all the Super Bowls in the past, 20 plus years of my life, it was one of my favorite things is the coin toss. And why? It's because you realize that you're actually at the Super Bowl because of the flashing lights, right? When people kick up the ball off and everything else. And I'll never forget this funny story. I would go out for the coin toss, and Peyton Manning's coming across the way, Champ Bailey, and next thing I know, I go out for the coin toss, and it's Joe Namath out there ready to do the coin toss, and we flip the coin, and he flips it too early. Right, he flips the coin toss too early, and the ref catches it in the midair. He said, "Hey, Joe, we gotta let him call heads or tails." And he goes to me. He goes, Russell, I always had a quick release. So that kind of broke the ice for me pretty early.
Yeah, it did. You faced the Rams twice this year now, Russ, and they were really, really good games. In fact, the first game, they may have been undefeated. They were on a roll, and you guys, it came down to the last play. Take my audience, Russell, into what that defensive front is like. They have a very aggressive, talented secondary. What did the Rams do that you found, disruptive or difficult defensively?
Well, I think, going back to those games, we were right there. The first game we played at home, I think they were 8-0, 7-0 at the time.
Yep.
We had an unbelievable game. We scored 31 points in that game. We had the ball on the 31-yard line going in with less than 2 minutes to go, I believe, and we get 2 penalties in a row, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Kicks us out of field goal range. We don't get to win the game to kick a field goal or score a touchdown. And then they end up winning the game. The second time we go to a tough environment in L.A., all the Malibu fires were happening. It was a very emotional game.
Yeah.
We go back and forth. We score 31 again, maybe even more in and they end up scoring a couple more points than us again. So, I think the thing about their defensive line, it starts with Aaron Donald. You got to double team this guy all game, all day.
Yeah.
But the problem is you got Ndamukong Suh sitting next to him. And the biggest thing they did was they got Fowler, which was the biggest acquisition they had really throughout the season.
Yeah.
Who makes plays, and now Talib's back, so they're going to be ready to play some football. They're a very, very good football team.
Now, let's talk now about facing Belichick. You had success. You moved the ball. In fact, I remember in the second half, you have a lead on them. And most teams in the second half, the offense dries up against New England. It did not with you and the Seahawks. So let's go back to that. What did Bill throw at you, Belichick, that was a little wrinkle, Russ?
Yeah, well, what they did to us, first of all, they just rush, they would only rush 2 guys at a time. So I'll be sitting there just kind of hanging out. They drop everybody else out. And we were able to make a lot of big plays down the field and make some key crucial plays throughout that game in the Super Bowl. And obviously the last one didn't work the way we wanted to. But, they ended up, we had the lead. They ended up coming back, unfortunately, with, 6 minutes to go. And we ended up getting the ball 2 minutes. And I look forward to those moments. We go all the way down the field, and unfortunately it doesn't work out for us. But the other 2 times we played them too. In my rookie year, we played them at home, and then the year after that, I believe, after the Super Bowl, we played them at New England.
Yep.
And it was a back and forth game. We ended up scoring a bunch of points. They end up scoring some points too as well. And it comes down to the fourth down and 1. Tom has the ball on the 1 yard line, and they don't get it. So, listen, this is going to be a tremendous game. I think that the thing about Bill Belichick is he's going to have a note card of defensive calls. He's not going to try to do too much. He's going to do it right. And you got to execute better than they do.
And finally, Russ, when you look at, you face Jared Goff, and I remember, I think you said this once to me, that you came into the league, and it was about year 3 when everything kind of clicked. The game slows down. It's hard for young guys. Now, Goff now is in year 3, and you were successful before that, but it is hard to go from the Big Ten, the Pac-12, to NFL schemes and defenses. So Jared Goff now, you've seen a lot of him the last couple of years. What do you like about him?
Well, he's poised, he's calm, he's got a great coach. They got great players around him. I think the thing about this game is he's just got to do what he does best, and facilitate the ball, make his big throws. I really like his demeanor a lot. So he's going to be a great player for a long time.
Okay, Russ has been on Team Bose for forever. By the way, I got one of those radios since 2014. You're also teaming with a free app called Tally. What is it?
Well, first of all, with Bose, it's super exciting. I got these new frames, by the way. They're pretty sick.
All right.
There's these glasses. I'm walking around the streets of Atlanta, hot Atlanta with these glasses on, listening to my music. Sierra's performing nice. I'm getting my mind right. And then obviously you mentioned the Tally app. Tally's pretty cool. It's a fun predictions game where it's free to play and people get to play it. It's basically 12 questions. Think HQ, but for live events, live moments like the Super Bowl, live moments like NBA Finals, NBA games. The Bachelor, even, the Oscars, the Grammys, those moments are always great. So there's this new app called it's called Tally. Go download it. PlayTally.com. It's a lot of fun, and for this game you can win up to $250,000 if you get it all the answers right. So everybody should go play. It's super exciting. It's a lot of fun. So go play Tally. It's really cool, and I'm going to do it while I'm wearing these glasses while I do it, Colin, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind. My sister never liked sports until Russell Wilson became the Seahawk quarterback, and you're my sister's favorite player, and the only reason my sister never liked sports, and I was a sports junkie. So you've made the family closer. I'm a huge fan. I love having you on, Russ. Good luck to you.
Well, it's always a pleasure, man. Go Hawks. I'll see you soon.
All right, Russell Wilson. Good breakdown of the stuff. Good breakdown is that I remember when they played the Seahawks and Belichick rushed 2. And Russell was just sitting back there. And there were like 9 guys. And that's what Belichick does. He faces these young quarterbacks, and he always throws a wrinkle. The quarterbacks that have given, I would say, Belichick trouble have generally been, the Peyton Mannings. Peyton can go toe-to-toe, 7, 8, 9. You start playing him over and over. But he can be, that's why Patrick Mahomes is pretty impressive. Patrick Mahomes had some success in the 6 quarters and the overtime, that Mahomes played. Belichick, he's in the 8, he was pretty good in 6 of them. Didn't do much in the first half of the playoff game. Coming up next, Rob Ryan, not Rex. Rob Ryan says Belichick is different than everybody. And I'll let you hear that, why he's different. That's coming up next. All right, Valentine's Day. There are certain anniversaries, there are certain moments, birthdays. Valentine's one of them. You gotta deliver, fellas. You could go to the supermarket, get roses, drugstore chocolates. I'm going to go with that's not going to work. How about Tommy John's? What a great gift. Redefining comfort for men and women. Luxuriously soft, feather light underwear. They've sold over 6 million pairs. Okay, they have limited edition loungewear and underwear, including matching his and her sets. It's the perfect alternative to boring and played out cliche gifts. Limited edition collection last year sold out in less than a week, so don't wait. Tommy John's also got the best pair you'll ever wear. It's free guarantee. Don't love the first pair, full refund. No excuse now then not to buy a gift. Limited edition Valentine's Day gift sets. All you got to do, TommyJohn.com, codes HERD, H-E-R-D. TommyJohn.com, 20% off your first order.